What's poppin', y'all? And it's your favorite neighborhood scary guy auntie, and we back, ay, and we back, ay, and we back, ay, and we back, ay. Happy first day of Bootober. Today's Tuesday, and you know what that means? It's movie time, or as the ghosts say, boovie time. I'm so funny. I got on my comfy PJs, got some fun slippers, got a cute little Day of the Dead cup and my popcorn, couple of candies. Let's go ahead and get into this movie business. I wanted to start this thing off right with some good old classic dcom movies. You might know some of these very well, you might not know them at all. But let's go on and get into it. I'm gonna start with one of my favorites, Under Wraps. This movie came out in like 1997, so I don't know how many of you would actually know about it, but it's one of my favorites. It's about these three kids that find a mummy sarcophagus in this dead guy's basement, and the mummy gets out and they're basically taking care of him because if he doesn't get back into his sarcophagus by midnight on Halloween, he'll turn to dust. And they don't want that. He was just minding his business. He didn't even know he was basically stolen by this crazy dude, and they don't want that for him. The love of his life, she's in a tomb in the museum, and they just want to reunite him with her, and I find it very sweet. The crazy guy that kidnapped him, the one that's dead, ends up being alive the whole time. And he's trying to sell the sarcophagus to make money so that he can go and run off and like change his identity and whatnot because he owes the IRS a ton of money. Why does Disney do that? Like their movies, like for kids, it's fun and cute, but when you watch it as an adult, you like pick up on like weird, deep situations. But they run around town trying to help their little mummy friend get back to his tomb. Honestly, my favorite scene in the movie is the mummy. They named him Harold. He has headphones on and he's just listening to All By Myself on repeat. And if that's not a whole mood, I don't know what is. Okay, it's one of my favorites because one, it's old like me, and two, it's just one of those feel-good movies. It's a good friendship story. They literally befriend this mummy and they can communicate with him. The 90s were weird because there's no way in hell that if I see a mummy, my first thought is, I want to be his friend. And then the fact that they can just communicate with him, I don't. The 90s were weird. Next, I wanted to talk about another classic. It's not as old, it's newer, but it's still really good. My Babysitter's a Vampire. I'm pretty sure it started as the movie and then turned into a TV show. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But long story short, Ethan's mom hires the babysitter Sarah because Ethan is irresponsible and be letting his little sister run the streets. Benny, Ethan's best friend, comes over and a bunch of stuff goes down with Sarah, and they find her in the alley like eating a rat, and that's how they find out that she's a vampire. To me, I like it because it's not your traditional like vampire movie, but it makes fun of like those lustful vampire movies. It makes fun of those because one of those is out around the time that this is happening. So all these vampires are in town and people don't think that they're real, but the evil vampire dude that's in love with Sarah, he's trying to turn everybody in the town into vampires, and Sarah's not having it because she doesn't even want to be a vampire herself. So Ethan, Sarah, and Benny do everything that they can to vanquish all these random ass vampires in the town. And Benny, his grandma is like a witch or whatever, and she gives them spells to help out Ethan, who's a seer. And it kind of just mixes like a bunch of the different like supernatural worlds into like one movie, but they're in high school, so it's like cheesy and ridiculous. It just makes me laugh, and it's just one of those movies that I will watch every year just to get ready for the time. Like it pokes fun at vampires and stuff like that, and that's why it's one of my favorites. Next we've got, everybody knows it, Twitches. I go Twitches, I go Twitches. Honestly, I love the first movie. It's the one set of the most iconic twins to ever do it, Tia and Tamara. Twitches is one of my favorites because it's like a crazy family story. Like, these girls didn't even know that they existed. They didn't even know that they were princesses or anything, but Alex, Tia's character, she has the ability of knowing, so she's been writing stories about her whole life, and she didn't even know. She thought it was make-believe. And then Cameron, she draws, so she was drawing all of these things that actually is like happening this whole time, and they had no idea. They were basically just having visions, and they finally meet each other, and Alex is like, this is crazy, I don't want any part of this. And Cameron is like, I knew something exciting was gonna happen today. It was like, it's one of my favorites because you get that cool family story, but also there's drama because their uncle is actually the darkness that's trying to kill them. I just want to know why the uncle has beef with his brother. Like, why are you so mad at your brother that you just want to kill him and his whole family? Like, what did he do? And then that brings me to the second Twitches movie, where at the end of the first movie, Cameron and Alex, they vanquish the dark. They just send him to the Shadowlands. And they thought he was gone this whole time, but come to find out, mans was lurking. Thanos was lurking, okay? And he's dropping little hints, like trying to contact the girls. And they mama was like, see, no. We gonna nip this in the bud right now. She was ready. She had Ileana and Karsh, their protectors, train them up, get them right with their powers, and was like, we doing this vanquishing spell. We gonna summon the light and blow all of them in the Shadowlands up. And Alex was like, I'm not with it, because our dad could definitely be over there. Like, I can feel him. He's alive. And their mom was like, nah, girl, he definitely dead. Like, I watched him die. And I was like, ooh, T. But I feel like somebody is lying. And somebody was lying because their dad was in the Shadowlands the whole time while he's trying to contact his daughters and like have them sense his presence. His trifling ass brother was doing the same shit. And he finally got, like, and the sad part is that Alex really thought that it was their dad, and she ended up giving her powers to Thanos, and he don't deserve. And now he's got her powers, so he's fully alive, and he's like, look, I'm gonna go kill my brother now. And Cameron was like, Alex, don't be upset, because dad's still alive. We could really save him. It's crazy. They're over here, they fighting Thanos. He's throwing Alex over the balcony. He's dangling Cameron over the little well, and their mom is trying to save both of them. But the dad, he laying there on the floor all beat up in shadow form. And Thanos was like, let me just finish this light work. And he's like, look, sucks to suck. There's nothing you can do for him now. And the mom was like, ha, you thought. So they all gave the dad their powers, and they done blasted Uncle Thanos off into the corner, and they're trying to have their little family reunion, and this man gonna get up and try to sneak attack. Like, they can't feel him behind them. And so dad, Aaron, turns and blasts his ass into the well, and now he dead. And dad was basically like, you thought I was light work? That was nothing. And the movie ends. Ileana and Karsh get married. It was cute. It was sweet. And, you know, the Twitches really just saved the day again. Period. That's one of my favorites. I love witches. That'll be like a theme over these next couple of weeks with these movies. You might see a lot of witchy things. I just love witches, and I love the fact that I got to see a movie growing up with two brown girls as the witches, and because I grew up on Tia Tamara, so it was just like cool to see them doing, like, being a part of something that like I genuinely love. So that's one of my favorites. It's always a go-to. It's got a slight spook factor. And yeah, last but not least, everybody knows these movies, and if you don't know these movies, you didn't have a childhood. But I'm gonna end it off with the Halloween Town saga. The first movie is a classic. Everybody knows it, everybody loves it. You really don't even have to watch after the first movie to just catch the vibe. The first movie starts with the Cromwell kids not even knowing that they're part of the most iconic witch family in Halloween Town. And Grandma Aggie, you know, she's just out here letting everybody know being normal is vastly overrated. She wanted to visit her grandkids, but she wanted to see if her daughter would stop wanting to be mortal for like 5 minutes to help her fight this bad thing, because neighbors are disappearing, and her daughter has the nerve to be condescending and say, "Mom, it's called moving." And Grandma Aggie wasn't having it. She was like, "No, some crazy shit is going down in Halloween Town and I need your help. Only Cromwell witches could stop this. I have a feeling." And the mom was just not having it. But Marnie, her nosy ass, was in the corner listening, and she found out that she's a witch. And their brother Dylan was like, "Y'all crazy. I don't want any parts of this." And that's kind of his vibe, like, all throughout the movies. So they go to Halloween Town to find Grandma. She left. She was pissed. She was like, "Man, F this. I'm out of here." She left. The kids follow her. Sophie was pretending to be asleep, and they didn't even know she was on the bus. They get to Halloween Town. All this stuff is happening. Grandma Aggie realizes that the kids are there. The mom finally realizes that the kids are missing. She pulls up to Halloween Town, mad as hell, ready to take them back, but the bus ain't running. So they were like, "Well, let's go talk to the mayor." And then come to find out, Calabar, the mayor, has a crush on their mama. But the crazy part is, plot twist, Calabar is the bad thing. He's the bad guy. So this whole time, he's out here just acting a damn fool. He freezes Grandma Aggie and the mom. So now the kids gotta go collect all these crazy ingredients and fill up Merlin's talisman and do the Beiki Ma, Beiti Gafir, Beiti Gigit spell and put the little talisman in the big old pumpkin and save the day. So they do all that. They save the day. Calabar got an attitude. He's mad. He's like, "I'm more powerful." And Marnie was like, bet. So they hit him with the and they blow his ass up. And it's what he deserved, honestly, acting crazy like that, not wanting to listen, thinking he more powerful than Grandma Aggie. Please. Then you got the second movie, which is one of my personal favorites. I'll watch that one by itself. Calabar's Revenge. And I know by the title, somebody getting some damn revenge, but it's not who you think it would be, and that's the T. We're in the second movie. Grandma Aggie done moved in with them in the mortal world, and you know, Marnie, she's trying to get her training, but her mom still got an attitude about it. But she's like, "I can't say no because you know you're a witch." So what sets them off is this random dude comes to their house, Cal. Marnie, you know, she thought he was cute or whatever, so she was like, "Let me show you my room." And he was like, "The room doesn't feel like you." And so she was like, "Well, I can show you my grandma's room." First of all, that's weird. Why are you just taking random people into your grandma's room? And Cal in there, he said he did a little swoosh swoosh and jacked Grandma Aggie's spell book, and then he dips off, and all of a sudden Grandma Aggie's bag, where she just be pulling shit out of, you know, there's nothing in there. And she was like, "What you mean there's nothing in there? It's magic." And Sophie was like, "Nah, girl, ain't nothing in there." And so they were like, we gotta go to Halloween Town and see what's going on. So Grandma Aggie and Marnie, they dip off to Halloween Town to see what's going on, and it's gray. Like 50 shades of gray. And that's when, oh my gosh, plot twist, Cal is Calabar's son, and he out here trying to avenge his dad. He was like, "You blew my dad up, so I'm gonna go against what you want and turn the humans in the mortal world creatures so that creatures can just take over the world." And Grandma Aggie was like, "So let's not." But they end up staying in Halloween Town for too long, and Grandma Aggie starts turning gray, so she's acting different. And so now Marnie, with the help of her goblin friend Luke, they have to travel through time in Halloween Town to figure out how to reverse the gray spell. And they finally do. They finally get back to Grandma Aggie in the present time. They hit her with a little trapper. And they're like, great, now we gotta save the rest of Halloween Town, but we have to get back to the mortal world to stop Cal, but the clock is running out and the portal closes at midnight. And they don't get to the portal in time, and now Marnie's like, I'm not gonna be stuck in Halloween Town for no year, 2 years. No, I don't have time for that. I'm gonna miss my family too much. So she calls Sophie and Dylan on the headphone and was like, we finna open this portal, I don't care. So they hit him with the, we call on the whoever, creature immortal, to heal the wound of world divide. And they open that bitch up, and Cal was like, see, you're throwing a wrench in my plans, bruh. I didn't ask for none of that. So, not only is Cal pissed, but he does a creature spell right then and there, changes their mom into a monster, all this stuff. And now they have to defeat Cal, and Marnie was like, give me my spell books. You ain't give me my spell books back. And Cal was like, oh, you want your spell books? Take them. So he turns his little arms into vines and stuff, and Marnie was like, again, big bet. My mom ain't raised no bitch. And she snatches them things up. And she was like, they mine now. Actually, they blow Cal up, and then Grandma Aggie reverses the creature spell, and then they go back to Halloween Town and they hit everybody in that bitch with a little trapper. And now we're on to the third movie, and here's the thing. Don't drag me in my comments, but here's the thing. I hate the third Halloween Town movie. Halloween Town High is a complete skip for me. I barely know the plot line. All I know is it stars my boy Lucas Grabeel, the king, and she brings a bunch of people from Halloween Town to go to school out here in the mortal world, and Ethan's dad wants the Cromwell magic, and Marnie's dumbass accidentally bet all the Cromwell magic that the kids could like survive out here, and he was like, well, she said it. And so he thinks of this plan of when they throw their haunted house to turn all the fake monsters in the haunted house to real monsters to scare the humans. And he was like, look, see, you failed, give me your magic. And Marnie does this little fake sentimental speech like, they weren't monsters when you met them, and you guys weren't scared of them then, so you shouldn't be scared of them now. And I guess it works because everybody was like fine with it. And then they were like, see, Mr. Dalloway, you played yourself, give us our magic back. And then he got sentenced to treason for being a big dummy. If only it was that easy, right? It's a skip to me. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not one of my favorites. But that last one though, Return to Halloween Town, now that one's a hit. And hear me out, I know y'all hate that movie, but let me tell you why it's a hit. For one scene and one scene only. If you've seen Return to Halloween Town, put some respect on this scene's name and tell me that when Marnie and Ethan get on that broom and you hear that bam, bam, and you know what song's about to start, and Jesse hits you with that girl, iconic. They're flying on the broom, giggling and being all cute, and Jesse McCartney's Right Where You Want Me is playing in the background. That's the best part, and that's exactly why you need to put some respect on Return to Halloween Town's name. I know it was disrespectful. They didn't have to do Kimberly like that and switch her for Sarah Paxton. To this day, we still don't know why. But that one scene is iconic. They try to disrespect Aggie. She's the queen. Joke's on y'all, she's the queen of Halloween Town. She been the queen of Halloween Town, but she didn't want all that. She had this crazy power called the gift. She didn't want none of that. She was like, nah, we gonna destroy this shit. So years later, Miss Marnie, she didn't want to do it. She gets the gift, she fools the Dominion and says blow that shit up. And it's permanent on Halloween night. No more. They thought they was doing something. And then they asses got sent to prison for treason for being big dummies. Again, don't you wish it could just be that easy? But the Halloween Town saga is a classic. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. It never goes wrong for this time of year. It's just one of those feel-good movies. I get chills when I hear that. Dun, 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 dun. There's just something about it that gives me chills. It's one of my favorites. I can quote it forwards and backwards. And if you haven't seen it, again, zero childhood. But I'm gonna just end this there. remember, you don't gotta lie to kick it, and if you gotta lie to kick it, you weren't supposed to be there in the first place. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you've seen any of these movies, or if you're gonna watch any of them. Let me know if you like them, if you haven't seen them. I'll see you guys on Thursday. I got some, y'all ain't ready for this Bootober. Y'all not ready for what I got coming at you, but stay tuned. It's your scary god auntie signing off, and I'll see you back in another one, in another one, in another one, in another one. Also, again, if you are 18 and over, please, please, please register to vote. This election is very, very important, and we all deserve to have our voices heard. So please, please, please register to vote. Thank you.